All right, listeners, welcome back to the True Alien Podcast. You know, we love bringing you the strange and bizarre when it comes to aliens, abductions, UFOs, Bigfoot even,
All those fun things.
all those fun things. And you know today's episode is no exception. We've got a really fascinating paranormal probe lined up for you.
Oh, I love those.
I know you do.
I love a good paranormal probe.
So,
Do tell.
this one comes from the work of primatologist Dr. Eleanor Vance.
Interesting. A primatologist.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Now, she's been analyzing satellite imagery, and you know what she's found?
I don't know. What?
Some really, really unusual stuff. And this has led her to develop a hypothesis that's, well, let's just say it's out there. She's suggesting that Earth, our Earth, might actually be a carefully managed cosmic zoo.
Okay, that's a new one.
I know. And get this, she believes that an advanced alien species is behind it all. Like we're their little experiment. So, as always, Julia Jones, our resident expert on all things strange, is here to help us unpack all of this. Julia, are you ready to probe into the world of cosmic zoos?
I am strapped in and ready for takeoff. I have to say, though, the idea of Earth as a cosmic zoo, it's a bit unsettling, isn't it?
It is. I mean, it really makes you think about our place in the universe, you know. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's go back to the beginning. What exactly did Dr. Vance see in those satellite images that sparked this whole idea?
Well, it wasn't flying saucers or anything like that. It was something much more subtle, much more down to earth. She started noticing these perfectly circular clearings in dense rainforests. I mean, perfectly circular, like someone had used a giant cookie cutter.
Yeah, you don't see that kind of precision in nature very often, do you? It's not like a forest fire just decides to burn in a perfect circle.
Exactly. It suggests something deliberate, something artificial.
Almost like someone was trying to hide something, you know? Or maybe mark a specific area for some reason.
It's intriguing for sure. And that's not all. Along with those clearings, she started picking up these unusual energy signatures. Not heat signatures, mind you, but something else.
Yeah, from places that didn't make sense, like deep within uncharted mountain ranges, places where you wouldn't expect to find any kind of significant energy source.
Right, it wasn't volcanic activity or anything like that. These signatures were a complete mystery.
And then there were the animals. Now, this is where Dr. Vance's background as a primatologist really comes into play. She started observing animal migration patterns that defied all logical explanation.
Like animals suddenly changing course for no apparent reason, or entire populations moving in perfect unison, like a well-rehearsed ballet.
And not in response to any known environmental factors like food or weather patterns. It was like they were being guided, herded even.
So we've got mysterious clearings, unexplained energy readings, and animals behaving in ways that make no sense.
Yeah, taken individually. Any one of these things could maybe be explained away as a coincidence or a fluke, but when you put them all together, it starts to paint a very strange picture, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. So how did Dr. Vance connect all these dots to this cosmic zoo idea?
Well, as she delved deeper into her research, she started to look at the bigger picture. She stepped back, so to speak, and considered the overall distribution of human civilization on Earth. And what she realized was that despite our massive population and our technological advancements, we're actually confined to a relatively small portion of the planet.
We might think we're spread out everywhere, but there are vast areas that remain largely untouched by humans.
Exactly. I mean, think about it. We've got these huge remote jungles, deserts, mountain ranges, all these places that are still pretty much unexplored and uninhabited.
And she started to wonder, why is that? Why haven't we expanded into those areas? Is it just because they're inhospitable?
And that's where her hypothesis took a bit of a chilling turn. She started to see a pattern, a subtle logic, in the seemingly random spread of human civilization.
It's like we've been allowed to develop and expand, but only within certain boundaries.
Exactly.
Really?
Like someone's been keeping us contained,
Yeah.
guiding our growth in specific directions.
Okay, so far, so strange. But how does this tie into, like, UFOs and alien abductions?
Well, Dr. Vance believes those things are part of the management protocol, you know. Imagine the Earth as a giant wildlife reserve.
Okay.
UFOs could be like park rangers, you know, patrolling the area, keeping an eye on things.
And abductions?
Think of them as data collection.
Data collection.
Yeah, I mean, you hear all these stories about medical examinations, genetic samples being taken, implants. Maybe those are just ways for these custodians to study us, to track our development.
So it's not about hostile invasions or anything like that. It's more like scientific curiosity.
Exactly. We're just really interesting specimens in their cosmic zoo.
Specimens. I love that.
And it gets even weirder. Dr. Vance started to re-examine historical records, ancient myths, religious texts, even cave paintings through this new lens. And you know what?
Yeah.
She found a lot of things that could be interpreted as encounters with these alien observers.
Like what? Give me an example.
Well, you know those stories about miracle, divine interventions, things like that.
Uh-huh.
She started to wonder if those weren't just examples of these custodians manipulating things,
Yeah.
maybe introducing new technologies, testing our reactions, nudging our development in a certain direction.
Fascinating. So basically, everything we thought we knew about history might need to be reevaluated.
Pretty much. And then there's the animal behavior we talked about earlier. Those strange migrations, the unusual vocalizations, the weird markings. Dr. Vance believes those could be connected to the management of the reserve as well.
Like the animals are being tagged and tracked, maybe even communicated with in ways we don't understand.
Exactly. It's like a giant complex ecosystem where everything is being monitored and controlled. And the timeline is mind-boggling.
How so?
Dr. Vance believes this whole cosmic zoo thing might have been going on for millions of years. Millions.
Millions of years. So we're talking about a project of unimaginable scale here.
Exactly. It's
Right.
almost too much to wrap your head around. But here's the big question. If this is all true, what does it mean for us? I mean, for humanity?
It means we're not the top dogs we thought we were. We're not in control.
Yeah, we might be just one species among many being studied, observed, managed. It's a humbling thought, isn't it?
It is. So what happened next? Did Dr. Vance just sit on this information?
No, she didn't. She felt like the world needed to know, even if it was risky. So she teamed up with some, let's call them unconventional scientists and hackers.
Unconventional.
Yeah, people who weren't afraid to think outside the box, to question the official narrative.
Okay.
And together they started digging into publicly available data, things like satellite transmissions, government records, all sorts of stuff.
And they found something.
Oh yeah, they did. They found encrypted data streams hidden within all this information. It was like someone was trying to hide something in plain sight.
Interesting. And were they able to decrypt it?
Partially, yes. And what they found was mind-blowing.
Give me the juicy details.
Well, according to them, this data contained detailed records of human behavior, genetic information going back generations, psychological profiles, all sorts of stuff.
So they basically stumbled upon some kind of alien surveillance database.
It seems that way. And that's not all. There was evidence of advanced technologies that we can barely even imagine. Technologies for weather manipulation, animal population control, even things that could influence human thought and behavior.
Wow. This is starting to sound like something out of a science fiction movie.
I know, right? But it gets even scarier. There were also indications that these custodians had been actively intervening in human affairs.
Intervening? Like how?
Well, for example, it seems like they might have been responsible for slowing down or redirecting certain technological advancements. And there were hints that they might have even influenced certain historical events.
Like steering us in a particular direction.
Exactly. Now, you can imagine that Dr. Vance and her team knew they were playing with fire here.
Oh, yeah. If those custodians were monitoring us, they wouldn't be too happy about their secrets being exposed.
That's right. But they felt the risk was worth it. So they started leaking this information to journalists, whistleblowers, anyone who would listen.
Wow, talk about a brave move. So what happened? Did the world freak out?
Well, it definitely caused a stir. There was a lot of skepticism, of course, but it also got a lot of people thinking, questioning the things they'd always taken for granted. I mean, if you're suddenly confronted with the possibility that you're living in a cosmic zoo, it's bound to shake things up a bit.
Yeah, I can imagine. So where do we go from here? I mean, if this is all true, what are we supposed to do with this information?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Do we just accept our role as exhibits in this cosmic zoo? Or do we try to fight for our freedom?
I don't know.
It's a tough one. But here's something else to think about. What if the reason we haven't been contacted directly by these custodians is because we're not ready? What if they're waiting for us to reach a certain level of understanding, a certain level of maturity?
Kind of like a cosmic test.
Maybe. Maybe they're watching us, waiting to see if we'll evolve beyond our petty differences, our destructive tendencies. Maybe that's the key to graduating from the zoo.
It's an interesting thought.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it really makes you wonder, what signs have we missed? What clues are out there that we just haven't been able to see because we weren't looking for them?
You know, from a paranormal probe perspective, I have to say, this whole cosmic zoo idea, it actually explains a lot. The idea of hidden observers, of beings with advanced technology manipulating events from behind the scenes. These themes pop up again and again in paranormal lore.
It's true. It's almost like we've been sensing this possibility all along.
Maybe we have.
Well, folks, there you have it. The cosmic zoo hypothesis. Is it true? Is it all just a wild conspiracy theory? We don't know for sure. But it's definitely something to think about, isn't it? It makes you look at the world in a whole new light. And who knows, maybe someday we'll get some answers.
Or maybe we're better off not knowing.
That's a good point. Ignorance is bliss, as they say.
That's right.
Well, Julia, thanks for lending your expertise to this rather mind-bending topic.
You're welcome. Always happy to delve into the strange and mysterious.
And to all our listeners out there, thank you for joining us on the True Alien Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and share the show with your friends. Until next time, keep looking up.